The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And wow, we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way. We got this guest. She's going to inspire us, educate us, and I tell you what, you want to be part of this conversation. So all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on, and the comments, or pick up the phone, dial 1-888-344-1170. Todd, let's get all the platforms in line.
It's your life. It's your life with Dr. James J.C.
Hello. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And I am excited about the show today. I'm excited about all the shows, but especially the one that we have today. We got an absolutely fantastic guest that's going to come and talk about some of the things that she is doing. And I tell you what, whichever platform that you are watching us on, whether it's E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Rumble, Facebook, and over 84 other live platforms, welcome to the show. And just like I mentioned, if you want to be part of the conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Michelle, I'm excited about the guest.
Yes, I'm excited too. You know, I've been working with her people, getting her on the show, and they're excited. And, you know, it's educational. I'm going to learn a lot about this amazing woman.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely wonderful guest.
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show is called A Red Circle. And we're having a sit down conversation with Erica R. Williams. And our guest today, she leads North St. Louis County's Community Development Organization, a Red Circle, based near Ferguson, Missouri. They provide free programs that fight food insecurity, restore youth arts and education, and build power in communities often ignored. She's going to talk about driving education equity, providing creative enrichment for youth, advancing community wellness and food access. And she will emphasize how a Red Circle is filling gaps caused by anticipated federal funding cuts. So, Eric R. Williams is a nationally recognized nonprofit executive, policy thought leader, and racial equity strategist based in North County, St. Louis. Again, she is the founder and executive director of A Red Circle. Inspired by the call to move Ferguson from protest to progress, Williams marched alongside community leaders, including former Congresswoman Cori Bush, who later became the first Black woman to represent Missouri in Congress. That same commitment to justice led Erica to found a Red Circle, which Congressman Bush helped support through federal funding and advocacy once elected. And April 4th, 2025, Erica co-authored a peer-reviewed policy brief published in the Journal of Agriculture, Food Systems, and Community Development titled Food Pricing and Consumer Choice, Recommendations for Improving Affordability for Fresh Produce in Missouri. You know what? There's so much to talk about this amazing woman. We're just going to introduce her. Please welcome for the first time on the show, Erica R. Williams.
Welcome to the show, Erica. How you doing? How you doing today?
Oh, I am doing so wonderfully. Thank you so much to both of you for having me today.
Well, we are excited about the information that you're going to share with all our listeners. And I'll tell you what, besides what Michelle said in the bio, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, why you're so passionate about what you do? And, so you got it for like 3 minutes.
All right. So, yes, I am a woman who is in love with her community. We call our community here the North St. Louis County community. It is a collection of suburbs in the St. Louis region, right outside of St. Louis City, but in St. Louis County. And we are close, and we just want to make sure that we're doing the best work for our community. I was born and raised here, lived out of town briefly when my husband served in the U.S. Army. And we've raised our kids here, and we are not going anywhere. We are not going to let the disinvestment take us from our community. We're going to bring the investment back to our community.
Wow. So what is the best adjective to describe who Erica R. Williams is, and why did you pick that adjective?
I would say passionate, because passion can fuel all the other things that I need to be. I can be assertive, I can be audacious, I can be meticulous, I can be productive, but all of that is fueled through my passion.
Wow. Let's talk about a Red Circle. Can you explain to our audience exactly what that is, and some of the things that you are doing?
Yes. So a Red Circle is an organization that I founded 8 years ago, actually last month. And the name stemmed from my visualization of how systems are interconnected. And when they are all evenly funded and invested in, they all flow nice and smoothly. And a lot of the issues that we're facing in our region has been due to past and present racism, segregation, things of that nature. However, we all bleed red. And so that's where the name A Red Circle comes from. We focus on 3 main pillars: food justice, education, and the arts.
Wow. Okay. So what challenges did you encounter as the founder to establish this organization, and how have you worked to overcome those challenges, at least in the beginning when it first started?
In the very beginning, so one thing that I did not realize when I first founded the organization is that the nonprofit industry is very dominated by white women. And to have a Black woman executive director was an outlier in their space. And so there was a lot of me having to prove, myself, prove my education. I have an MBA. and not be seen as someone who's just going to be doing some work but not really knowing the business side of things or the investment side of things or the funding side of things. Funders even still do not fund Black-led nonprofit organizations at the same rate that they do white-led orgs, even funders, groups that are working in their own communities. So that was a challenge that I had to overcome. I'm still overcoming. And, we're just working to make sure that all of the work that we do is on par so that there's no reason for distrust or anything like that.
Okay. Well, can you tell us, well, you told us about the Red Circle and how they serve the community, but let's start with the different programs. Let's start before we get to the break about at least one of the programs that it includes. And let's start with the Red Circle Farmhouse. Can you kind of tell us about that and what made you start this particular program under a Red Circle?
Yeah, so one of the things that, pardon me, that I did early on was a lot of networking and meeting with people in the community, whether it was members of the community, elected officials, businesses, and one of the glaring needs that we kept hearing was we want more healthy food in our region. We have a lot of liquor stores and dollar stores and fast food places, but it's really hard for us to find healthy food. And so first we started teaching about nutrition, and then we ended up building an actual farm. And so we grow food and we get food out to the community. We educate other farmers at the farm. But what we needed at the farm was some structure. We needed somewhere for the farm team to work. We needed somewhere for us to get water and store equipment, things of that nature. And people wanted to begin learning about food preservation. So not just getting the fresh food when we grow it, May through October, but also how they can do things like can vegetables so they can have better items for themselves for the winter, make things like bread, that has fewer bad ingredients for them, especially people dealing with diabetes. And we want a space where we can have classes so we could teach about, managing illnesses, farming sustainably, things of that nature. And so that's where the farmhouse came to be. We bought a property that was on site next to the farm, tore it down, and built a brand new farmhouse with a state-of-the-art kitchen.
Wow. So you teach about healthy food. As you said, the food's organic, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
We get enough chemicals from the food that's at the store. So we want to put good things into our bodies, into the food that we provide to the community.
What has been their feedback regarding this program?
Oh man, very positive. People have shared with us how they're learning about foods, whether it's, never tasted foods like pawpaw. That's kind of a native fruit to Missouri. Or cooking differently, cooking better, doing meal prep. They've never done that before. Learning that they can actually do these things. Part of the messaging that we try to convey is that everyone belongs in this good food system, this good food movement. And oftentimes when you're watching television or other media, you see the farmer, he's a older white man with the overalls, and then you see the
Hey, Eric, hold that thought. We got to take a station break. But I tell you what, whichever platform you're watching us on, if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is go to the comments, ask any question that you want, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
It's your life.
A black man's point of view.
Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Get ready. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. And I tell you what, I was sitting back there just listening to Erica. And wow, she does a whole lot of things. They even got a farm when they grow their own food and fix it. So yeah, that was exciting. I mean, that's your organization is doing some wonderful things. And
Thank you.
And I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching us on, if you want to be part of this conversation, stop playing, go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. You know, Erica, I kind of cut you off because we had to take a break. I forgot what we was chatting about, but can you pick it up?
Absolutely not a problem. So, Dr. Michelle was asking about people and what they've learned and how their lives have been changed by the farmhouse. And one thing that I was mentioning is it's not just about the food, the physical food that, people are able to enjoy for their bodies, but it's knowing that they belong in that type of environment. You don't see a lot of Black farming and Black healthy eating representation in the media. You don't see, Black men farming. You don't see Black women, as widely as you see white women eating healthy and taking care of their bodies. And then you don't see different body sizes. And so one thing we try to stress, here is, one, everyone belongs in the good food system. Everyone belongs. You can add a vegetable to your breakfast, add some fresh fruit to your lunch. You don't have to be a certain size or a certain weight. but everyone can do something to help themselves become healthier. And being able to come to a farm in what some people would deem the hood, but being able to come and see plums growing on the trees and pick your own blackberries, and for kids to be able to really experience the outdoors like that really, really makes a difference.
Wow. So, we have a viewer who wants to know what happened in Ferguson for you to start a nonprofit. This came from Nicole Gibson. So, Erica, can you address Nicole's question?
Absolutely. So, for those who do not know, in 2014, a young man by the name of Mike Brown Jr. was killed in the city of Ferguson, which is right next door to where I live and right in the heart of where our organization works. And when he was killed, it sparked just a lot of unrest because he was 18 years old, he was unarmed, and the response from the community was not the best. There was very little love shown to his family, to his circumstances. And that really prompted me to begin to do my own soul searching on what I was doing for racial equity, in my own life, in my household. My husband and I are married. We have 5 children, 4 beautiful sons, and that could have been one of them. And so it just really caused me to do some soul searching and networking and researching and learning about things like redlining and restrictive deed covenants and how the investment was kept out of our neighborhood on purpose through design. And that really wanted me to, not only form a nonprofit, but to see how I could give back to my own community.
Wow. So, thank you for answering that, because it's important to see what the origin was regarding this nonprofit organization. So we mentioned the farmhouse, and let's talk about the creative spot. That's a second program under a red circle. What is a creative spot? So I'm thinking of something creative like artsies, but you go on ahead.
Absolutely. So one thing that we know when funding is cut in schools, one of the first things to go is a school's arts programming. And so a red circle brought this building. It's in the city of Ferguson, and we make sure that we reach youth and families to create, make, whether it's songs. We actually just had a song published, our first song called the Community Peace Song, that was performed by some youth in our programming last summer. And we also practiced for our Kwanzaa production there. Families can come and play music through our Drumming for Peace programming. They can come and create hands-on arts with their families. And it's just a lot that we can do, because arts really helps with healing. It helps with having a sense of belonging. And we know that it is not equitable, just or fair, that the only kids who get to enjoy arts programming are kids in well-resourced schools.
Oh, well, this is great. We got a third program too, education advocacy under a red circle. Education is definitely important. So can you tell us what is the goal of this particular program?
Yes, so we have, it's a collection of goals throughout the education work. One is our parent cafe, where we work with parents to help create the village that parents need to, understand things like IEPs, what the school board does, and how their decisions impact their child's learning. We also go into the classrooms to provide tutoring, mentoring, social emotional learning support, and other types of supports to social workers and counselors. We know that children, if they are coming to school hungry, they're not able to learn, they're not able to concentrate. And so we help provide things like food and basic need supplies, bus passes. Sometimes we meet families that, have been displaced, or they were recently homeless and they need help getting the kids back and forth to school. So we provide bus passes, like I said, food. Sometimes families were homeless and they get their first place, and now they need things like sheets and blankets and pills and things of that nature. And so we work to find those things. And then lastly, we help parents advocate for their children. So not only, accepting the IEP that is written, but making sure that their children are actually getting the services that they need.
Wow. And there's a fourth program. It's called the People's Harvest. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So one of the things that we do a lot of reaching out to the community. You know, we want to hear what the people want to see happen. We're not just going into a neighborhood and setting up shop and then telling them this is what you need. No, we want to hear from them. And we had a good food summit back in 2021. And the response from that, we invited farmers and consumers and policymakers. And the overwhelming response from that was, one, we don't want any more liquor stores. And two, we don't want any more food pantries. They equated the liquor store and the food pantry on the same level because they want a place where they can shop and, you know, actually pick out the foods that they wanted and have jobs for the people in the neighborhoods. And so we began to reach out to area grocery stores to see if they wanted to come into the North St. Louis County region, but they all said that we're not their demographic. They do not want to have a store there. And so we ended up opening our own grocery store. So that's People's Harvest. And it is driven by the community. We source from as many local farmers as possible, local value-added producers. So that is People's Harvest.
Wow. You know, this is so fantastic. I mean, how you keep all of these hats on, I mean, all these different organizations. But I tell you what, I'm going to ask that question because my producer saying we got to take a station break. But when I come back, I want to learn a whole lot more. And I tell you what, if you want to be part of this conversation, just pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Or just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Or go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll give you an answer. It's your life. We'll see you shortly after this.
That's right.
At Viridian Christian University.
It's Dr. JC Cooley. Let's go. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. in a journey that ain't over yet, as all of us journey through life's precious gift of time, just like I have. Hi, I'm Todd Pirrick, the producer of The James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. And in the new audio version of his book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, you can join James as he shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. This is a must listen for anyone who thinks they're stuck in life or needs to understand that their current situation is not their final destination. Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet is the unfiltered truth to provide hope for the future by challenging you to refuse to become a victim of life's circumstance and dare to become an overcomer, because a bigger, better, and more impactful life awaits you. Get the new audio version of his book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by Dr. James Cooley on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Yeah! Come on! Your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I tell you what, this is a fascinating guest. We're learning so much about her and her organizations. I'm just trying to figure out, how can you wear all these hats at the same time? It's how do you do it, Eric?
Well, I will tell you, I have an amazing team. Thankfully, we started out as kind of a one-woman show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had an idea, and then I talked to family and friends and other folks, and people jumped in, and, you know, the team has grown. I have an amazing team. I have an amazing board. My husband is a big supporter and one of our bestest volunteers. So, you know, I'm the visionary and I'm the one who's thinking of all these things, but thankfully I'm not the one who has to implement them all.
Wow. We got a question. What do people misunderstand about food, dessert, and produce affordability?
So one of the things we talk about in food justice space is the idea of, you know, the term food desert, because it's not necessarily a space where food, you know, left, it was taken away. It was, you know, done by design. The grocery store. So where I grew up, for example, we had several grocery stores that we could shop from. So depending on who had the better sale, my father was our main grocery shopper and he could go to several stores. But as those stores closed, no one came into the region to bring in new stores. They just kept bringing in more dollar stores and liquor stores. And so it's not necessarily that, you know, people don't like produce, but it's not been made available. And then when produce is made available in certain communities, it's secondhand. And we know produce has a shorter, you know, shelf life than other foods. And so we sometimes have to parse through foods to make sure things aren't moldy and spoiled. And so one term that people use is food apartheid region, which, you know, speaks more to the racist and intentionality of taking food out of healthy communities. I speak about a term that I say food swamp, meaning there is food there. There's something for people to eat, but it's very, very low nutritional foods.
Wow. So, you know what, Erica, you were recently published in the Journal of Agriculture, Food Systems, and Community Development. Can you tell the audience what are the key recommendations from your article and how do they apply to families in North St. Louis County?
Yeah, so we hosted a fruit and veggie policy convening last year. And so this paper was a very good summary of that convening and the policy recommendations that came from that. One thing that we want to be intentional about is not only keeping food affordable at our grocery store, People's Harvest, but making sure that our farmers are being adequately compensated for growing the food, because growing food is not cheap. Growing good food is not cheap. And so some of the policy recommendations were to better compensate farmers from the federal level through the Farm Bill, through state legislation. And, you know, right now, the only foods that are farming that is actually compensated is more the larger commodity farmers, corn, soybean, wheat, those types of things. But we want to make sure that the fruit and vegetable farmers are actually being compensated. So that was one of the policy recommendations. 2 was funding a program called Double Up Food Bucks. meaning if a family is using their SNAP or EBT card to buy produce, they can spend $10 to get $20 worth of produce. And then the store that sells that produce is then compensated from government funding. We also talked about educating farmers on more conservation methods to save money, because you can grow using less water, which then helps you save money on your water, grow with less inputs, such as your harmful pesticides and things of that nature, to save money. So those are some of the policy recommendations from that paper.
Erica, what is Nexus and how is it changing the way communities think about grocery stores and food systems?
Yes, so Nexus is short for North County Community Nexus, and that is an incoming food hub that is in North St. Louis County. In 2023, we were blessed to buy a building that had been vacant for years, that had, sitting down the street from a closed grocery store. And we are able to, we are working on renovating that building to create the brick and mortar People's Harvest, because right now it's during pop-ups. There's also going to be a healthy food bistro to alleviate, from some of the less than healthy options that are in the neighborhood, and a production kitchen. We work with a lot of amazing food entrepreneurs who make their own products, such as sauces, seasonings, jams, jellies, oils, and all types of really cool things that they could have their products in the stores on retail shelves. And so the Nexus is going to be a space that brings all of that together. We have cold storage that we're going to put in the lower level of the Nexus so that these food producers can store their items until they're ready to get into retail space. Incidentally, we got USDA funding for that project, but it's currently on hold because of our administration. So we will be talking about sponsorships and things of that nature. But also within the Nexus, there will be space for learning and opportunity, because we know that people want to do things to help their own lives, not just always wait for charity. So we're going to be teaching about how to make things like lotions and soaps, and so that they can become entrepreneurs and sell these items in our store and in other stores. Right now, for our People's Harvest pop-ups, we source from as many local entrepreneurs as possible for the seasonings and the sauces and the soaps and the fresh produce, even greeting cards. We are looking to see who is doing what and who wants to make things happen in their communities.
Wow. I tell you, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back because this is so interesting, and all the things that you and your organizations are doing it seems like it's paying off, and you're helping so many people. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a station break. Come back, and a lot more, Erica. If you want to be part of the conversation, I keep telling you. The way to do it is pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Or you can go to the platform, comments on the platform if you're watching us on, and ask any question that you might have. It's your life. And we'll see you after the break.
That's right. Dr. James JC.
There's much truth in a journey that ain't over yet, as all of us.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
will never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
It's that time. It's your life. Dr. J.C. Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm sitting back. I'm thoroughly enjoying this discussion that we're having with Miss Erica Williams. And I tell you what, I know you are too. I'm looking at the numbers. I can see the numbers. I mean, so it's a lot of people watching today, Erica. Hey, Todd, what are your thoughts on the show so far, man?
Wow, James, I tell you, what a great show. I'm learning so much. I'm taking notes. I'm down to 1 bag of popcorn. I started off with 3, down to 1. Let's get right back to your guests.
Right back to it. I'll tell you what, before we get back to it, I want to tell you all about this absolutely fantastic university called Viridian Christian University. Yeah, I'm the chancellor. Yeah, this university is absolutely fantastic. We offer 30 different degree programs, from the bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and people that are doing extraordinary things. We offer honorary doctorate degrees as well, Erica. Well, but, I tell you, just go online, ViridianChristianUniversity.com, ViridianChristianUniversity.com. Go in there, check us out, and I tell you what, let us help you increase whatever that you're trying to do, education, job, or whatever that is that we can do. We can chip in and help you out with that. So I want to get back. This is so extraordinary, what I'm hearing here, especially when you talked about the Nexus and all of these different things. You guys are movers and shakers. Can't nobody get in the way. I mean, get in the way, you have to push them out to the side. So I want to pick it back up. We got a lot of questions that our folks are asking right here. Let me find one. It's a lot of them on here.
It's a lot.
it's a lot. Let's see. What is this?
Oh,
Okay.
there's a good one. I think there's like a question that kind of ties into this, and I'm going to do an A and B. Do you mind, James?
No, you got it. Can you read it? Yes.
Sure. So the question is, and I'm going to tag this, a red circle has secured over $3 million in regional investment. What does that level of support make possible for your community? And have you been engaged with other state reps, who want to do the same?
Yeah, we work very collaboratively, not only with our elected officials, our state rep, state senators, local leaders on the local and the county level, but we work with other organizations also. We work with other farmers, and what I'm doing is absolutely amazing because it's fun and I love my community, but there's nothing stopping anyone from doing what I'm doing in their own communities also. I'm always available for whether it's a Friday morning coffee chat. We can either do it virtually or in person. And people have called me from all over the country to learn, how they can do what I'm doing in their community. I've talked to people in Virginia and California and a few other states that I can't bring to mind right now. But, this work cannot happen in a vacuum. It cannot happen with just one singular organization. You have to work with your local officials. You have to work with collaborators. You have to get the word out. It's just like advertising. Companies don't become successful just because they are, focused on just what they're doing, but they work together. And when you work together, and you can make a lot of good things happen.
Erica, there's 2 events coming up soon. talk about both of them and what to expect, how people can get involved and attend these events. Let's start with the first one. Let's go.
So this Thursday, we are doing an open house for our farmhouse, a Red Circles farmhouse. And you can come by getting a ticket on the Eventbrite. The tickets are going fast. If they run out, just get the information and still come. You will meet the farm team. Remember, I said I had a great team working with me. You will meet the farm team. You will get a tour of the house and the farm. You will see a cooking demonstration in our kitchen. And there are so many other ways. If you are not here in the St. Louis region, but you want to get involved, you can sponsor a row. You can, meaning a farm row at the farm. You can sponsor a class. Right now, we charge for the classes $15 to cover supplies. But sometimes, that cost is prohibitive to families. So if you want to sponsor a class, you can donate online. We also have the sponsorship link up there. And so that's coming up this Thursday. And then later, May 3rd, we are doing the grand opening for the Creative Spot in Ferguson. And we are so excited about that space. We took it over in 2022 and began renovating it and getting it ready for the different rooms. So we have different rooms that, have different functions, studio space, and we have arts and crafts space. We're going to have space where people can come and actually display their own arts that they make and try to sell them on consignment. And so there's just going to be so many really cool things happening. The open house is this Thursday, April 10th, and the grand opening at the Creative Spot is May 3rd.
Wow. We've seen a lot of headlines about federal officials visiting Missouri. In your view, what's being overlooked when it comes to Black communities like Kinloch or Pine Lawn? And what message do you want the national leaders and funders to hear, especially those who may visit Missouri but miss the real frontline work being done there?
Well, that's just it. There's real frontline work being done, not just by a Red Circle, but people who live in the community, and the continual disinvestment. So I grew up, we had grocery stores, and it just took one generation to have all the stores leave our region. It's going to take several generations to bring that level of investment back. And so this isn't a one and done type of thing. It's not an overnight type of thing. You have to be willing to be in this for the long haul. So the funding that happens, it looks great when you first get it, but it's never enough. It's never enough. You cannot just do a one-time appropriation and say, oh, well, they got this much money. Why did they do thus and so? There's so much that has gone wrong and so much that has worked against us. We're working and clawing our way up. It's almost like when you dip, fall into a hole. You fall fast. But to get back up, it's going to take a lot of climbing, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of people working together. And a lot of that cost. People have been, dissuaded from getting involved, from even things like voting. Today was election day here. And, you have to really talk to people and make sure that they know that there's still, work being done. There's still groups looking to bring the investment in. So that's what these national leaders have to understand. It's not just a one and done type of a thing. You can't just show up, walk through, take a picture, and go home. No, that's not the real work. The real work is the people who are here every day, getting up, going to work, going to vote, going to protest, going to their kids' school, talking to their children. That's the real work that happens, and that's the investment. That's where the investment needs to happen.
Wow. So we got a question here: is how you raise money for this?
Well, begging. No, we write grants. We write grants. We do contracts with other organizations and with the government. We do fundraising. We have a website, a redcircle.org, where people can donate. People can send us checks, but we try to make sure that the work that we are doing is reflected in things like our social media and our data and our annual report that will be coming out soon, so that people know we're not just taking your money and getting rich. Like, no one is running away with your money. We are investing in our community. We are helping families, become healthier. We are helping elders get to the doctor. we have a group that goes to the senior building and does blood pressure checks and takes them fresh food and helps them get to their doctors so they can become healthier. We're working with kids so that we can help kids with literacy, whether it's during the school year or also in the summer. We have a program called Sunday Stories where we meet for ice cream on Sundays and read stories to kids and make sure they have kids in their homes. I met a group when I first started this that said typical Black families, 1 in 30 Black families do not have a book in the household. And you're talking about kids and literacy and reading and discipline and all those types of things. Having books that represent kids that can actually like show kids in their, element is really, really key. So not just about, books about the struggle, but kids having fun and just being able to see themselves in those stories. So we make sure we get books out to kids, but we are doing the work and there are other groups doing the work. So that's where the investment needs to happen.
Wow. So we got about 2 minutes left in the show. Got a question. How can people across the country replicate all these free services and the great things that you're doing?
Oh man, just get started. I'm telling you, like I just started talking to people. I started talking to people in the checkout lines, at the barbershop, at the bus station. Me and my intern, she had a laptop because they didn't have like a whole lot of tablets back even a few years ago. So she had a laptop and I had questions and we just went and we talked to people and we said, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? And then I started sharing a lot of things about what I was doing and learning on social media. And people jumped in and they said, hey, we understand you want to, do this. I can help with that. One class that we started offering was about estate planning because we see a lot of property that, when someone passes away, it's not titled correctly. There's no will, there's no trust. And so people are losing like homes and things of that nature. And
we down to about the last minute of the show. How can people reach out and get in touch with you if they wanted to?
Oh, just go to the website, aredcircle.org. You'll find all of our social media channels, or you can click the contact us button.
Wow. I tell you, this has been fantastic. I'd like to thank you, Erica. Stick around if you can for taking the time to come on the show. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together an absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank my producers in San Diego, Todd Pirate, and my producers in Dallas. Fantastic. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life.
Oh! Yes!
Wow, what happened?
You're good.